I don't want cool animals to get wrecked. So like polar bears, I don't want polar bears getting fucked up too hard if we can avoid that.
This answers my question. I was wondering what made them cool. Was it the look of them, the personality?
It's that they're huge and they eat meat and they're fucking sick.
See, you're not after like flying squirrels, which are dope in their own way.
I'm all in. Flying squirrels also dope. I'm a big fan because they fly and they're mammals, and that's something that, like, well, I guess other than bats, the largest subgroup of mammals. Other than that, we don't have any ones that glide. But yeah, penguins. I'm down with penguins, especially the emperor penguin. That's my favorite one. He's got flair. He's got pizzazz. He's got a little je ne sais quoi.
Look at us. Like, we're aligning politically, Taylor.
Look at that.
Penguins do have flair.
Look at us. It's the Paul Rudd. Like, who would have thought? Not me. That's like when Israel comes up and we're both like, oh, hell yeah.
Animals that are inherently uncool. Animals that you think that we could live without. And the most common answer might be mosquitoes.
Mosquito for sure.
Yeah.
Wasp. That's the worst.
Yeah,
wasp. We don't need that shit.
I don't think
outside
of
the insect world,
to the environment.
There aren't any animals I like. Hate. Even deer.
Wasps don't contribute to the environment at all, and I don't know a more reliable source.
See, Zach, you just said snakes.
We know what bees do. They have jobs.
I fear snakes, but I don't want to get rid of snakes because snakes are a cool animal. They're neat. They're just cool.
Hey, I got one. Let's get rid of ticks. Fuck those things.
100% down. You're in the mix. Yeah, that's what I like. Fleas. Get rid of ticks. Fleas. Get rid of fleas. Honestly, when you think about things we could do without, overwhelmingly, I'm coming up with insects. Because like no one,
don't need those guys.
No chipmunks to go away. They're adorable. Like they're the cutest little fellas running around. I just saw a bunny in my backyard 2 minutes ago. Bunnies. Nobody wants those gone. Those are wonderful animals. They're not.
You know, I'll, just to break out of the box here, barracuda. They're not that big. They're not that good looking. They're not that cool. They're kind of mean.
I like their teeth, so I'm going to veto the barracuda.
Double veto. We keep the barracuda and the gar.
Yes,
spread it on a cousin.
Alligator gar.
If we were going to lose one of them, I'm keeping barracuda, and the gar can go because the gar is kind of a garish animal.
In the car.
A little gross. Yeah, doesn't it have like
alligator gar can hurt people, right?
Yeah.
In rare
if it wants, it's got big old teeth, and the kind of teeth that like
it would be
arowana. Are you guys familiar with arowana?
Arowana? No, I'm not.
Zach, can you find a picture of arowana? It almost looks like an underwater snake, except its body is compressed kind of vertically, and they get long and they jump out of the water and eat birds off the tree limbs. That's dope, right?
That's nice.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like any animal that goes between water and land to do its business. I'm interested in that. I see those jungle cats. Those jungle cats that swim underneath the water and grab caiman. That's crazy.
Are those ones? I don't remember the name of the fish, but it spits a stream of water up into the air to knock bugs off of a stick.
I see that too.
And then it munches it when it hits the water. That's pretty cool.
Terrible fish to keep at home. Like imagine they just spit at you all the time.
You're just walking through your living room and you're like,
feed me, asshole.
Jackie, the things I do for you. We had to get this fucking Madagascar spitting fish, the llama fish of Madagascar. I watched like a 3-minute video the other day of goobers getting up in front of llamas and just getting just getting spit on, and that was so funny. They are those are heavy spits.
Oh,
like
really?
They're not like a little like
it's not like clean saliva.
No, and it's a lot. Like their whole face, like it just like spray plus
it's like a handful, like an orange amount.
It's a lot of spit heading towards you. I don't think it's an orange amount because that would be.
I think I'm thinking, what are the smaller ones?
It's like a spell.
The little. I don't know.
A little clementine.
Nectarine?
Perhaps a nectarine or a clementine. Not a navel.
People.
Those are both really good.
Those are both good. Big shout out to this episode is brought to you by clementine.
All right, since we're on the topic, Taylor, any animals you want to upgrade? Any animals that suck now but could be saved with an upgrade when you become God?
It doesn't suck, but they clearly need something in their corner because it's not going well for them, nor has it been for many years. The rhino. I think we've already lost the honking rhino, the white rhino. That might be gone, and
right?
we're left with the smaller black rhino, which is still a very cool animal. But if we could have kept the white rhino around, that would have been cool. Because the white rhino is either extinct or it's one of those situations where it's like there's 11 left and they're thinking it's just going to like
it's functionally extinct is what the internet says.
Those are cool. Rhinos, I'd want to pump them up.
What? They're not even cool. I'll be honest. They're not cool.
You're fucking insane.
Look, a lot of, I don't know how many species go extinct every year, but it's a bunch. That's my proof that God's plan is nonsense. That he couldn't figure out animals. Even he couldn't even make a bug that could just be hardy enough to stay in the ecosystem he created. Somehow it gets phased out generationally.
Bug's a bad example. They do
all sorts of things. There's all sorts of like extinction events every year. We lose a bunch of animals, but the rhino's one of them. Let them get gone. The
what about them is not cool?
What about them is cool? They're
horns. They're huge. They're fast.
No, they're not. You've never seen a rhino with a big horn in real life. You've never seen it.
Of course not, because they're
drawings of it in depictions and fucking cartoons.
Zach, bring up really cool rhino pics to make it look
cool.
foolish.
That's like me saying that elephants shouldn't go extinct because oliphants are cool in Lord of the Rings. That's a fake elephant. It's not a real one.
No, you've added a layer to this. I didn't say that a fantasy rhino was cool.
You are talking about a fantasy because you've never seen it. It doesn't exist anymore, and it hasn't existed for 50, 80, 100 years.
Really? I feel like I've seen rhinos.
They killed the ones with the big horns.
TV.
No, the ones with the big horns.
But now I think I'm looking at hippos.
Hippos are also cool. I don't think hippos are in any.
Those things are so fucking dangerous.
Like I've never been to a protest, and I have no plans to. But if elephants started going extinct, I might get out in the street. I might start waving a sign because we could not. Like, can you imagine losing elephants? That would be the worst.
Is that because he's in a zoo? Did they modify his horn to make it lame?
No, that's what his horn looks. That's a juvenile for one thing, but I don't know what his horn will look.
That's in a zoo, and it's because he's stressed out all day, so he's grinding it against some metal post.
Ones have smaller horns. That's your theory.
I'm saying this one has smaller horns.
Grow all lame like that.
Look at that! Isn't that cool as hell?
Smokes! This rhino brought to you by Bluetooth.
That's a white rhino, and Kyle thinks that this can just fuck off. He thinks it's
so blind it can't even defend. They should all die. They're worthless animals. Their habitat is gone. Let them go.
So by your metric, pandas should also go away.
We should.
Pandas can go because pandas.
We've always been anti-panda for 15 years.
First of all, that's a Chinese communist panda. Okay. Those are communist bears.
I can't believe
you
even
call them bears. I hear zoologists that say they're part of some sort of weasel or fox family or some shit. I don't even know if it's a real bear eating bamboo over there. Can't reproduce. You know what they do when they have twins? They eat the other one like they can afford to do that. Please, the things don't even want to fuck them. They can't procreate.
I'm okay with pandas.
That's how Trump should get back at China. He should shoot a panda in the head.
I would take back all the things I said about him being dumb if he were to do something.
I don't want to do it, but I'm going to.
You just dumb and shoot pandas. But I'll pass this to Taylor and anybody else that wants to take. We're about changing animals and extinction events. I don't know how many of you are aware insects broadly in general across many populations are facing extinction. Insect population has declined over 50 to 75% in some regions. And for me, that's deeply frightening. And I like to talk about it on my social medias and stuff. And it seems like nobody cares or understands. And then I get sad and I'm like, well, when there's no more food, I guess we'll know.
Well, I think there was an increase in the global bee population. And that's a good thing because like we need the bees out there doing their thing. Kyle, you're muted, but you need the bees out there doing their thing. And it would all depend on the type of insect that's getting fucked. Because if it's some horrible beetle, I'm fine with it. If it's if it's one of the
birds or bats or other animals. Like some of these animals that you think are cool eat the bugs.
Yeah, you're right. True. Bees have recently rebounded, and they are at their all-time high in the United States.
Mm-hmm. So we're cooking. We're cooking.
We fixed colony collapse disorder, and we stopped using neonicotinoid pesticides primarily.
So which insects are we losing that you are worried about? These pollinators?
Not the pollinators as much. I'm worried about it just in general because it's a broad trend across a couple of categories. And you're calling me out. I don't have this info prepared offhand, but I did a couple of science articles about it. It's some categories of insect are fine. Some are getting hammered, plenty in the middle, but the general trend is toward an insect population to collapse. And that's also one of the reasons that you see less butterflies these days, or you see
I'm fine with that.
what? Butterflies are awesome.
I would like to keep butterflies. I would like to keep butterflies around, but how about moths? We can lose moths.
No, moths are beautiful.
You know, I have a friend.
Butterflies.
I have a friend who like gets all cagey when he's around moths, like outside. Like we used to be, hanging out outside of a bar in college, and we'd be smoking cigarettes or whatever. And you're standing by some light, and moths would come by, and he'd be like, like all cagey and weird. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong? And he's like, when I was 11, a moth got in the house and it flew all around my head in weird patterns, and it was a pretty sizable guy.
He had a great idea.
He somehow in one of his loops went perfectly into my ear canal and got stuck. This is the same that you guys know this guy. This is the oh man, is it bad? This is
one of the first stories you've ever told on PKA. It's great. This is the 15th anniversary or whatever.
Yep.
I think this is a 15-year-old story.
Is today the anniversary?
The moth flying in his ear? I told this 15 years ago.
Ever ago. It's so old.
The show.
Like it's like that's an old memory. That felt weird when it got accessed. that was not digital. That was something spinning back there. That was on tape.
He had to go to the hospital, and he said that he could feel it scritching and scratching and moving in his ear for hours as they like tried to find a way in there to pull it out without breaking it into a bunch of parts.
You know what you do when it happens? Alcohol. You take alcohol, you dilute it a little, or just pour rubbing alcohol in your ear. It'll instantly kill the thing, and then they'll get it out. But don't suffer through an animal fighting in your ear canal for its life. That's got to be terrifying.
It sounds awful.
It's shitting in there the whole time. Now you got
it was
now
loud.
You got shit in your ear. What if you get a fucking infection in your eardrum from a bug shitting on your eardrum? They can't fix that.
Oof. Well,
now you got ear rot
because he flew in.
I got shit ear.
The butt is closer to the entrance, so it wouldn't get on.
I used to tell my girlfriend while she was asleep, I was going to put honey in her ear, and she wouldn't know, and her body heat would warm it up, and it would run down in her ear, and she'd wake up deaf, and she'd have honey ear.
That's fucking psychotic.
That's why she sleeps on her back.
That's why she sleeps on her back, so you can't honey ear.
Yeah, I am glad I'm not
sure. Margera, and I'm going to give my dad the old honey ear.
Yeah, I'm hard to live with.
Zach